Hi everyone, welcome back. This is the fourth episode in the Fluval Evo build. This episode we're going to talk about how we cycle the tank, what media we use, and also by using our DFLOW media baskets in the back chambers. We'll be showing how to set these up correctly. So for what we chose for our bio main media are these Aqua 1 ceramic balls. They're quite porous, they have loads of little holes, so loads of good surface area for your bacteria to grow on. They were quite cheap as well. Next is another option, Sephorax, kind of a more expensive brand. Ceramic rings, has loads of surface area for a load of your bacteria to also grow on. We're going to use some of that as well. Third option is a plain ceramic brick that you can get from eBay. They're quite cheap. I don't know if we're going to use this completely, but it's just another option out there, just plenty of surface area as well. So we like to use filter floss for the top of our baskets. They help kind of clean the water out of tiny little particles and make it look really nice, but we just use the plain old filter floss you can get on eBay. Another option for media we use is RoaFoss. This is specifically for removing phosphates from your water. If you're suffering from lots of green algae and various different types of algae, this is kind of good to run in your system, but we don't run this all the time. So we use these kind of little small netted bags to put our carbon inside. So we usually run carbon in most of our tanks all the time, just to help with clearing the water out and removing any kind of toxins in the water that maybe were released by any coral. And we just find it kind of gives a nice clean to the water as well, so we like to use it. Takes away any kind of smell as well, if it be possible with your water. The carbon does a really good job with actually removing that smell, so it's good. And this is our chamber 2 basket from DFLOW. We use this as basically our full system for our media chambers. It comes with 3 removable layers. And this is our chamber 1 basket, again with 3 removable layers with a built-in flow director. And you can see that it exits down the bottom. We'll show these being installed in the tank and how we actually fill these up completely. Yep. So we're first going to look at the carbon. We're going to show how much carbon we use in our little media bags and how much we fit into the chamber 1 media basket with it. So we tend to like to use this on our second level in our chamber 1 basket. And as you can see, we only use a slight bit, just a small bit, not too much really in a tank this size, but maybe we use actually a little bit too much in this, but yeah, it can be changed out maybe every few weeks or so once the carbon becomes used. To just kind of fold it up into a nice little cube that fits into one of the shelves in the media basket, just like that. And as we say, we like to put it on the second level like this. Now we like to use some of the filter floss. Again, we just like to use a nice little thin bit of this, and we change it out roughly every 3 or 4 days when it becomes kind of you'll notice it change of colour to kind of a brown colour. It just kind of does a really good job removing the tiny particulates in the water. And we like to run these on both of the top layers of our media baskets just to help with removing all the kind of larger particles before they go through the majority of the rest of the media in the media chambers, just to keep them nice and clean. So as you can see, this media basket is now full. Place some ceramic media on the bottom layer, and so this is also the RoaFoss. This is optional. We really only use this if we're really kind of struggling with our phosphates in the tank. But yeah, it's great to use in one of the little layers as well. You just there's directions on the pack with how much you use per size of tank. So this is the chamber 1 completely filled, and now we're going to insert it in. It should be quite a tight fit, but this is intentional. We push it right down until it's set in place, and you can see the water flowing in, down through the filter floss, into the carbon, and for example we can have our larger biomedia at the bottom. So what I did for this build is I took pre-cycled media from my larger system. So this is completely covered in bacteria and fully cycled, so it should help our Fluval Evo tank just get cycled a little bit quicker. So this is the media we're going to place inside the chamber 2 filter media basket. So I'm just taking it out of this bag which I had inside my larger aquarium sump. So it should be covered in a lot of good beneficial bacteria that we're going to use to help cycle this tank a little bit quicker. So in this tank, or in this one, we have the mix of the aqua balls and just some broken up pieces of aqua rock from our aquascape build. Both of these do great as a ceramic medium, biomedium. So here you can see I'm just kind of filling up some of the layers with some of the biomedia. With the media baskets, there is usually a large space at the bottom of each of the chambers, which we tend to like to use for larger pieces of media like this, just because there's plenty of space for it. We tend to like to keep the layers in the basket for more kind of specific media like filter floss, carbon, any kind of your other kind of little medias that you'd want to use. But as you can see, it does a good job as well of holding and separating, giving plenty of space to your large ceramic media. So as you can see, this is going to go into the bottom of the chamber 2, just because there's a large gap in here when you place the chamber 2 in, but this is intentional as it gives this extra large room for lots of more ceramic media, which is always good in a small system. So that's just for example, that's some at the bottom right there. And now we're going to install the chamber 2 basket. Our chamber 2 basket draws in the flow from the bottom of chamber 1, takes it right up to the top of chamber 2. And as you can see, once we install our chamber plug, the water level will drop a little bit significantly, and you'll see the water then waterfall over the chamber 2 basket and down through the chamber 2 media successfully. So again, we're going to put a little piece of floss at the top of our chamber 2, just because we like to kind of floss our water quite a lot, just to take out any particulates really. So now it's time to install the little Fluval Evo plug that comes along with our chambers. This is just a simple little install, fits right into the little gap here in the wall. The main reason to do this is it basically encourages all the water to go in through your chamber 1 instead of skipping your chamber 1 and going directly into chamber 2. So as you can see, the water now flows in, all the water now flows in through chamber 1, down through the media, out through the bottom of the media 1 basket and into chamber 2, and then up through chamber 2, down through chamber 2 and into chamber 3 where your return pump will be seated. When installing the baskets, we tend to like to turn off any auto top offs, any returns, just so we can get our levels correct. So as you see, they are now installed correctly. The water level in chamber 2 is low enough that you can clearly see the water coming up from the bottom of chamber 1 into chamber 2. Successfully just going in there and going right down through the bottom of chamber 2 and into chamber 3. This way we can make sure all our media gets completely involved in the cycle process, making the best of the media within this small system. So back to cycling of the tank. This tank has now been cycling maybe for 2 or 3 weeks, and we're starting to see some green hair algae on the glass like this, and also some diatoms. This is normal, and we kind of expect this kind of process to kind of burn itself out within maybe another 2 to 3 weeks. As you can see, some of the diatoms forming, which are kind of that browny greeny colour on the sand. We're not too worried about this. This is just the natural life cycle of the nitrogen cycle within the tank, and yeah, we'll soon be adding some cleanup crew for the system now to eventually eat the green hair algae and the diatoms within the tank. So you can see the kind of rusty colour on the sand bed and the glass, and this is all good stuff. This is the stuff you want to see when you're cycling your tank. You'll get to know now that it's going in the positive way. The bacteria is starting to grow on all your rock surfaces, and then once you test your water, make sure your ammonia is down 0 and your nitrates down, or your nitrites down and your nitrates up, then you're fully cycled. So thanks again guys, and remember, if you're interested in any of the products that we sell, any of the DFLOW chambers, the nozzles, then links will be in the description for this, and tune in next week when we will be looking at the next chapter of this build. Thanks very much guys.